progress on putting our Bedrock battery in our 2016 EasyGo RXV Shuttle 2+2. Got a little bit excited. I pulled the batteries out before I actually started shooting the video. I do have the metal trays on this cart. You can see the two compartments down there. On the metal trays, they had these slots coming down. I did end up grinding down the little pointed areas on the braces just for ease of battery installation. Cleaned up all the metal tray, spray painted it with some black spray paint, and the Bedrock battery will sit right in the back far compartment. Got a little bit excited and pulled all my matting out a day before the battery arrived, and got excited that it showed up way ahead of time. So I actually ended up running the cable under the mat. I pulled the mat off, ran the cable, actually and mounting the LCD display right here on the cup holder dash, which will work awesome. Ended up putting the mat back in, and so got a little excited there, so I didn't get that video part of it, but all in all, the mat came out easy. Great instructions of how to do it, and right now I'm at the point to start installing the battery. Here is the battery that came out of the box, the Bedrock Battery 105, 51.2 volts. The carton it came in, very well secured, solid wood carton with foam packing. Again, they gave me an extension cord to plug into a 110 volt outlet. I wasn't expecting that. Some of the packages for the miscellaneous screws that we need. There's the terminal for that safety switch that I have to crimp on. They actually give you a drill bit, which is very nice for anything that you have to modify. And then the tie down, pull down brackets for the battery itself. I actually wasn't expecting that, but I got actually a battery lift to pull out the old batteries, which that would have came in handy because I had to rig up something to pull those batteries out in the past, or before the system came. And they also give you a can koozie for keep all your beverages cool as you're going on a golf cart ride with your new Bedrock battery. And then of course you have your battery template to make sure that everything's going to fit. It comes in a very nice secure box, so very pleased with the operation so far. Extreme Carts is very helpful. One other thing I want to say is, if you get into this, I did purchase a ring pull-off tool for the, actually that works on the little push pins. I would definitely recommend a push pin tool to pull those out. About $10 at the local auto store, and very well helped the progress. I did actually mount the battery charger already. Again, I got too excited, so I didn't get to film that. Very easy to do. It bolted right in with 4 bolts. Fits in there perfectly. And then I did replace the Bedrock 110 volt charger plate. Came with the adapter plate and all the necessary hardware to hook that up. This is actually a photo of the old RXV charging port, and pulled the cable out. Two positive and negative, and then also that kill switch that we had to pull back. That wire there came back through. I actually pulled the wire back through, and this is this blue wire that actually has to go to the positive terminals, which is the safety cutoff. The 2 new battery charger cables going to positive, negative, and then I also tied the commons or the hots positives all together and the negatives all together with those zip ties, so you know which wires to put back on the right terminals. This is another angle of what I did, is I just ground those down. Actually I used the sawzall and cut that down just for the ease of the battery installation, where it'll actually slip in and it should fit perfect. Here's my cabling for the LCD meter that gets hooked up to the battery. And all in all, it's been a pleasure to do this so far, so we'll get on to the next steps. Just another update too, I did put that template in there so you can see how that fits. So the battery is going to fit in there perfectly. The template is there to make sure before you lift the battery in that everything is going to fit securely and properly, and that is going to be awesome. The battery should slide right in. One other thing I thought about is that actually my cart had the factory 12 volt converter, so I didn't have to mess around with anything there. All the wiring was in, and that was factory mounted right up here where you see it. So that's the factory 48 volt to 12 volt converter that runs all our tail lights, turn signals, horns, stereo, headlights. That was from the factory, so I didn't need to add anything there, and just have to wire that into the battery terminals. What I did here is I actually put a cloth over the golf cart itself and over those metal brackets, so when I slide the battery down, it won't scratch the battery. We don't need any scratches on the Bedrock battery. It looks awesome as it is. Hey, the Bedrock battery just got put in place. No troubles, fit right in. I think it did help grinding those little ends on that if you have a metal tray RXV. But the battery's in place, so now next step is just hook up the wiring and we should be set to go. So far, installation very easy. So what I did here as prescribed is I put the bolt into the screwdriver and actually ran the bolt up and down all the holes of the mounting bracket to make ease of installing the hold-on bracket. Next step will be putting the hold-on bracket underneath the battery. Okay, next step is completed. 3 hold-on bolts here on this side for the tie down of the battery, and we've got the one on this side locking it into the frame. Very simple procedure, worked out great. Now our next step is on to the electrical connections. Well, that about wraps up the installation. Battery charger in, factory 12 volt converter is still left in the cart. All the wiring connections are all done nice and neat. State of charge meter is hooked up. Run tool switch back in run. All the cabling is neatly tied wrapped back out of the way. And incidentally, on the battery tray, I actually have a whole opening where I'll be putting the metal bottom in there, and I got extra spots for storage. Put some containers in there to store anything we want to in there. So all in all, the battery system went in very well. I'm very pleased with the installation. All right, installation complete. One last video of the LCD display mounted on the RXV 2016. We do have our USB port there. Everything is working fine. Still actually have the factory gauge in there too. That actually works, showing full voltage and 49%. So we'll plug this thing in, get it charged up, and we'll take it for a test drive. Thank you so much, Bedrock, for the great installation instructions and for providing a great product. I guess I have one last video. Do have it plugged into the charger. The charger is working. In there. LED light is blinking, so it's charging. And we look at our monitor, and we're charging 50% capacity. So, hey, we'll give it a couple, 3 hours, and we should be 100% ready for a test drive. Well, I just got off a 5-mile ride with my brand new Bedrock battery from Extreme. I tell you, the process was great, start to finish. Extreme Carts actually led me through the process. I ordered the battery on Friday. It came in actually on Tuesday morning. Well, I had it scheduled, but I thought it was. They caught me by surprise, so thank God I had started on the project pulling the old batteries out before the new one came. But from the process, from what they recommended to the delivery to the install, everything was excellent. I was very impressed with all the boys at Extreme Carts. Just to show you again, we'll show you what the battery looks like. It went in there flawlessly. I did have the metal trays on the RXV, which I left in place.
but now I've got to gain an area where I'm going to put a metal bottom in there, so I'll have storage. But the battery itself, put in there flawlessly. A new battery charger. Everything actually went well. We got the new digital dash on the board, on the cup holder. Again, my state of charge meter for the existing cart is still in operational, and couldn't be more happier. Thank you again, Extreme Carts, for all your help, and looking for very good luck in the future with the Bedrock battery. Thanks again.